Well, hello there. You caught me in the big truck. I'm sitting here getting unloaded, so what a better time to make a video, while I'm sitting doing nothing. So, first thing I want to do is apologize to you for that last video. I'm certainly glad you came back and gave me a second chance. A friend of mine saw that and called me up and said, man, you got to relax. You're working too hard. You're just trying too hard. Just be yourself. So, you're going to get relaxed, buddy, from here on out. All right, let's get started. All right. The first video I did was about missing an opportunity to mentor somebody in a fuel island. Big mistake I made. Bad buddy, okay? Then I started a series on can big trucks and personal vehicles play well together on the road. We certainly can. We just need to understand each other. And the purpose of this is to give you an understanding of what the restrictions and things that I have to deal with as a driver and how difficult it is to move this thing around sometimes and to manage it. So, we talked about in the first session is blind spots, unsafe spots, and talked about lane changes. So today I'm going to be talking about merging into traffic. There's two places we merge into traffic. One obviously is onto the highway, and the other is from the shoulder of the road. They both have two sets of rules, okay? They're nothing alike. So let's jump in here and get started. I'm going to start with telling you a story, and it's a true story. Happened to me a couple days ago. I'm driving through town. So as I'm driving through town, I'm naturally looking in both mirrors. I'm keeping an inventory. I know what's around me. And so when there's an entrance ramp coming, I already know what I have to deal with. I look on the entrance ramp, and here comes this guy down the entrance ramp like a ball of fire. He's just zipping down through there. And rather than keeping his momentum up and going in front of me and merging into traffic safely, he slows down and drives beside me at 65 miles an hour. Not a real smart thing to do, and I know you're smarter than that. But we run across people in life that just haven't figured things out yet. So that's this guy. He hadn't figured life out yet. So he's running along there at 65 miles an hour. He's got no clue that I've got traffic on my left and I can't change lanes. He doesn't realize that I can't brake hard enough to let him in and keep the people behind me safe. I don't want to put those folks in jeopardy. It's not fair to them. So I'm running at 65 miles an hour. And so he's in my, guess what, my blind spot. Yeah, I can see him in my convex mirror, but that big mirror, I can't see him at all. So he's running in that blind spot, 65 miles an hour, and just laying on the horn. He's trying to get me to get out of the way. We ended up having to hit his brake. Guess what? When we're driving a car, we have a couple tools. Two tools. One is the go pedal, the other is the slow pedal. And you got to pick one. You can't just ride along and hope life happens the way you want it to. You've got to make some choices in life. And when you're on the entrance ramp, you got choices to make. The entrance ramps today are built so that we can get on the highway at highway speeds that are plenty long enough. I have run into a few out in rural Texas that have a real short entrance ramp, but typically entrance ramps are plenty long enough for a personal vehicle to get on at highway speeds. So while you're gaining speed and where you can merge in safely, it's simple. Check your mirrors. And this guy's not checking his mirror. He gave up on his highway speed. He's not checking his mirror for a safe place to merge into traffic. That's his responsibility. And so it was a difficult situation and a bad situation for him. I couldn't do anything for him. I got traffic on the left. I got traffic behind me. I'm at 65. I can't help him out at all. So he was upset. I was surprised I didn't get a phone call from safety, which reminds me, I promised you a story about this phone call that I did get from safety one day. I'm driving down the road, the phone rings, and I've got a wireless hands-free type deal going on, so I answered the phone. It was a safety department, and our safety director says, buddy, I want to thank you for driving 65 miles an hour in the right-hand lane and driving safely. I said, well, okay. Why'd you bring that up? Well, we had a complaint about you wouldn't let somebody in traffic. And she's real good about explaining why we drive the way we do. It's because it's not safe for us, especially in traffic, to be changing lanes because we got the blind spots we talked about last week. And sometimes we just can't see things real well. And people are sometimes switching lanes real fast and stuff. It's just not safe. So by the time she got explaining to the fellow why we're driving at 65 at a steady speed, we're not changing our course any, running at a steady speed so they can make a good judgment on how to merge into traffic. Well, he apologized for making the phone call and said he wished he'd never made it because he didn't want to get me in trouble after he learned about the difficulties that we have and the challenges that the big trucks have in traffic. So that was a story that I just wanted to share with you. So this guy finally hit his brakes and got in behind me. Wasn't too happy. I can't do anything about it. I hope he had a good day and got where he's going safely. And the other merge that I want to talk to you about is merging from the shoulder of the road. Completely different set of rules merging from the road, the shoulder of the road. Let's talk about personal vehicles. Okay, first of all, a personal vehicle's got a whole lot more acceleration than what I have in the big truck. So whoever's on the shoulder road's on there for some type of emergency situation. Maybe the baby messed their diaper and they couldn't stand it, so they had to stop, pull over and change the diaper. I don't know. But anyway, so this cat's got his turn signal on. He's hanging out there and he's wanting to hop into traffic. He's got that turn signal on. He's looking in his mirror and he's needing some help. And that's our responsibility as drivers. Is, we're running down the highway. You and I have that responsibility to let that guy in. So we either slow down, we move over a lane, give him an opportunity to get in, and everything flows fairly smoothly when it comes to personal vehicles because you have so much better acceleration than what I've got in this big truck. Now, the other issue are the big trucks that are parked on the side of the road for whatever reasons. Now, when we go to merge into traffic, we've got a challenge because while we're very powerful vehicles, but we're also very slow vehicles, okay? So it may take us a full mile to get up to 65 miles an hour. I've got one place that I pull out of, get on the highway. Always have around 42,000 pounds on me when I leave there, but it's a 3.5 mile hill, and it takes me either side of 2 miles to get up to 65 miles an hour getting on the highway there. So I get on the highway, I just have to turn my emergency flashers on, let people know I'm driving slow, and work as best I can to gain my speed. So with that in mind, when you see a big truck parked on the side of the road, it's got his flashers on, not the emergency flashers, but his turn signal on to get into that left lane. Especially with that guy, because he's going to be very slow getting in there, is do everything you can to change lanes, get over, give him plenty of room to have access to that right-hand lane, and then stay over there. Don't jump in behind him because he's going to be running slow for a long time. So that's a situation, another situation where we have to work together to keep everybody safe, not just us as truck drivers, but to keep motorists safe out there on the road too, because we are so slow and it takes us so long to get up to highway speeds from the shoulder of the road. All right, guys, that's it for today. Now, next week, I'm going to talk to you about distracted driving. That's a big passion of mine, and you'll learn that as you hang out with me. Distracted driving is a huge passion. I saw a sign that I'll share with you last week that had a staggering statistic on it that just amazed me, and I'll share that with you, and I'm sure you're going to find it very interesting and alarming too. So, all right, I want to share something personal with you. I have a little King Charles Cavalier, and those little dogs are just the sweetest little things, and they'll cuddle with you, and they're lap dogs, and they just want to be part of the pack, just hang out with you. But they're really particular. They don't like their cheese moved, okay? The wife is nesting right now for the fall. What does she do? She rearranged the living room, everything except my man chair. And she only moved in about 6 inches. So here's a video of Cookie Dog in my man chair giving the wife the stink eye, okay? Now, guys, I appreciate you joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this session, found it informative. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up, whatever. Comments, if you have suggestions and things that you want me to review or talk about, let me know. I'll be happy to take a look at it. I might give you wrong answers, but I'll be happy to do that for you. Now, I only do these videos once a week, so doing these videos, You might want a reminder if you like the content and what I've got for you. Just subscribe, hit the dingy dong bell there, and you'll get a reminder next Wednesday that, hey, Buddy posted another video. Let's see what he's got going. Remember, I've got that story for you about the statistic on distracted driving. Okay, guys, thank you again so much for stopping by, and I apologize for last week's video, and everything's going to be a whole lot gooder from here on out. All right, thanks a lot. Y'all have a safe week, and I'll see you down the road.